boy, what a difference 7 days make, innit, fam?
Straight back to being the most hated football club again. And we still haven't sold anyone. So mad.
Not
and
yet.
all for nothing, really.
Mm.
Like, when you really deep it, what are people annoyed about with Chelsea? Oh, we're selling players to Saudi Arabia. Who knew you could transfer players to other football clubs? I never knew you could do that, bruv. I never knew you could do that.
No,
It's all mad. Before they complained that we hoard players, now we're selling players. What can we do? Okay, people are just gonna bitch and moan, regardless.
100%.
What's the point?
No,
I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. We're selling players at basically book value or like 5 to 10 million pounds profit. And people are acting like crazy money's been spent and we're getting money injected into our club by dubious circumstances. From the same fan base, by the way, who's about to spend 60, 65 million on Kai Havertz. The one that's giving us more money than any of the Saudis are for any individual player. For a worse player than any of the 4 that we're selling to Saudi. How does that make sense? By the way, Party could potentially be going there as well. So I guess it's not bad unless they do it.
No, you know what it is though with them fans. What you have to deep about them fans is like, bro, they always need somewhere to project their frustrations in it because it's never at their own club in it, especially not now with the Arteta train. But come on, bro, they just almost won the league or whatever. No, I mean they've had 2 bids rejected for Declan Rice because they're going in there with all these stupid installments. How about you just go there with the asking price and get the deal done? Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's what Chelsea do.
This 55 plus 5 BS. Nah, pay the 60. Clearly want him. Up 5 million and take him.
But this is exactly what it is, though. Chelsea go and do things the right way. And the one thing that Chelsea do, better than any other team is, bro, like, if they know they want to get rid of a player, they sign their replacement before they sell them. Do you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that.
And Cuckoo just came in today for cheaper than what we're going to sell Kai Havertz to Arsenal for.
Yep.
That's the difference. That's the difference. These guys are just crazy. These guys are just crying because they've been cussing out Todd Bowley for the longest. And yet again, he continues to find loopholes and he continues to find ways around. His football IQ ain't there. Fair enough. Like, I won't debate that one. He's made mistakes. But he's a good businessman. And you got to respect him for that. FFP is literally being changed this summer just because of Todd Bowley and the way he used the 8-year contracts and everything. You lot should not be angry because you lot were all laughing at us a year ago when we got sanctioned. You lot were happy to let the UK government have their say in who owned Chelsea, and you got what you wanted. We were in 12th and you laughed because you got what you wanted. Now the joke's dead. Don't get pissed about it. Don't get pissed about it. This is why I've said, like, Bowley, 1 season, that's it. You've made mistakes, but I'm willing to give you more time because it's not been a complete disaster. It's only been on the pitch. Off the pitch, there's been some mistakes. There's been some smart movements. Being able to bring the likes of Enjo and Mudryk and all these youth players because they're on 8-year contracts. The outgoings. We're about to pull 60 million for one of the worst football players I've ever watched put on a Chelsea shirt, and he's going to my rivals. Brilliant. The whole Manchester United Mount situation. You might get 50, 60 million for him. Half of our deadwood, who I didn't even think we would be able to sell, we've managed to find a place for them in Saudi Arabia with brilliant contracts that could take anybody off. And people are just pissed because it's Saudi Arabia. Big up to Todd Bowley. The only reason why people are angry is because of Saudi Arabia and because they want to run this oil money narrative. If this was the MLS with £2 billion put into their league to try and bring in players, nobody would say anything. Nobody would say anything. It's only because it's Saudi Arabia people want to run this, or it's immoral and everything. What's immoral about transfers?
No, but they're trying to say that there's a percentage stake by basically the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in one of the businesses that own your company, own your club. This is what they're saying. Even though it's like a 5% stake or something like that, they think there's something sinister in there, but there isn't. Do you know what I mean? They're Saudi guys are signing people from everywhere, not just Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bernardo Silva, Party.
They're trying to get everyone.
There was a few others as well. Like they
even got linked with Wilfred Zaha, bro. Listen, they're trying to sign any and everyone. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So,
but like because we have a fuck ton of players and we have a lot that we need to get rid of. It's an easy link up to have. You lot want a bunch of big name players. We have a bunch that we're trying to get rid of. It's literally just that, and the whole thing as well is it's up to 5% stake in what that they've invested into Clear Lake, which is literally an investment firm, and they have zero decision making of it.
Yeah,
it's just
so
people
they just
who
put their
don't
money there.
understand and read a headline and just make some BS narrative.
5% don't give you no say in nothing, bro. And you know what I mean, if you got less than 50%, literally, you ain't got no say in shit, really. Do you know? But 5% is minus no say in shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
if
yeah,
we were working together, they wouldn't have taken Kante yet, because we would have still been trying to re-sign him. Doesn't fit the narrative, though. Doesn't fit the narrative.
No, 100%.
But it's fine because they can moan all they want. They got what they wanted. We've got the owner that we want, and we're going to have the clear out that we want as well. All we've just found is a completely new avenue, which really suits us because they'll take any of our deadwood, probably just match the wages and just pay whatever the book value is because they've got so much money. All they want to do is just put big names into the league. That's it.
100%, bro. Like, I don't have a single problem with what Chelsea are doing. They're acting like a proper football club. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what they're doing, and that's what they should do. So, boy, when people are talking about corruption and pardon?
We just caught everyone off guard.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you caught. You wouldn't say you caught me off guard. I knew you lot were doing what you were doing. Like, it was a very clear.
Not you in general.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but it was a very clear.
Like, oh, Chelsea's one idiot owner. This stupid Yankee.
But it was a very clear transfer strategy from Chelsea. They're gonna buy all of these young players. It was clear that they were building for the future. They were willing to spend whatever they had to spend, to get these players in, because ultimately it was about a rebuild. You know what I mean? And they just decided to do it in 1 or 2 windows instead of doing it over 4. Nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? And then on top of that, they already had a list of their players that they were going to get rid of anyway. You know what I mean? So even if you're bringing in players in January, Chelsea always knew in the summer which players they wanted rid of. They knew. And then some popped up that necessarily weren't on that list, like the Koulibalys and stuff like that. But at least your owners held his hands up and said, you know what? We tried the thing, it didn't work out. Let's just flog him. Do you know what I mean? Instead of trying to keep him and try and, like what Man United done with Maguire, we signed him, realized it wasn't a good signing, but because we committed to spending that money, we decided to just hold on to that idiot when we should have just cut our losses, innit? That's why I rate Todd Bowley for being ruthless and saying, you know what? We bought him, it hasn't worked out. He can fuck off. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what a proper owner that wants to win does. If you want to be successful in life, you have to be ruthless. That is it.
This is what sticks out to me with Bowley. That's why throughout the whole of last season, when it's like, yeah, he shouldn't have sacked Tuchel. Yeah, he did take a while to sack Potter, but at least he got to that point instead of holding him to the end of the season. The whole Mason Mount situation. Thankfully, he's completely ignoring our tapped fan base and their attachment to him and their attachment to Havertz and to Gallagher. If you're not good enough, if you're not part of the future or you don't want to be part of the future, you can leave and it's fine. And that's what sticks out to me with him. That's why everyone judging him after one season. It's way too early to do that. Now we have a manager who I think is proven and will be given a good amount of time to build the squad in his image, just like Potter would have done if he wasn't an idiot for 6 months. Now we have that. Now we're going to build a squad in his image. I can see how he reacts with that, how much influence he has. Does he leave the manager to do his own thing? What does he do in terms of future transfers? Or if the team needs more players coming in when we're in a better position, but we need to stabilize ourselves there. That's where you can start to judge him. Not in the first season. Way too early to do this Bowley out narrative. Criticize where you want to criticize. Don't be a sheep. I completely agree. Don't be a sheep. But I feel like there's always this thing in football with managers and owners where you can only ever be in or out. You can never be in the middle. You can never be objective and just judge things as you see them. Like, for example, with Potter, you can either be Potter in or you can be Potter out. You can never be in the middle. And if you say one thing that leans to one side, suddenly you're Potter out. You say one thing that leans the other way, suddenly you're Potter in. It's just a case of give him time, give him a couple years. Let me see where the squad's at in 2 years' time. And then maybe I'll have a better idea of my thoughts on Todd Bowley by then. It's too early now.